It is a lot to move house, guys. People think your life is so amazing when you're in another country. Research, guys. I almost lost my fingers. Like, legit, no joke. Almost lost my finger. Don't be moping around like, oh, I miss hope. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Khanya from Memoirs of a Blazer, and today I will be talking to you about whether or not moving to a whole new country is a good idea. So basically what you can expect, some of the challenges that you might go through, and some of the self-growth that you might attain by going to a whole new country. Before we get into it, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Okay, let's get started. So when I decided to move to the United States of America, the key things that I thought about was firstly language. I wanted to go to a country where they speak English, just so that it makes a lot of sense. I also decided to go to a country that I was familiar with. So I had been to the United States before, and so I had an understanding of like the culture and what the people were like. So it wasn't like a completely like crazy idea just to go to the United States. And then the other thing was that like it had to make sense for my career. So I didn't want to go to a country where like there wasn't that many opportunities to like grow and flourish and become something bigger than what I was in South Africa. So those were the reasons why I decided primarily to move to the United States. Now I know and understand that sometimes you don't have the luxury of, say, like visiting that particular country. So what were the challenges that I went through? There were so many challenges. Okay, the first and foremost for me, like the challenge was like finding an apartment. So the United States currency is the US dollar, and I come from South Africa, and the biggest problem is that you're not necessarily, even though your employer is going to give you like an advance to just help you like get into the groove of things, it does not necessarily happen like on that day, because you have to also open up like a bank account. Those things like take a few days, and so I would suggest that you have a savings account that you have been like saving up all your money throughout the year before you move, because you just don't want to be cash strapped. Like, it's not to say that they're not going to cover you for certain expenses. They will. They understand that you are moving to a whole new country, but it's not necessarily all going to come in one day. So you want to kind of like at least have enough money to cover you for like the first 2 weeks. Me, I saved the biggest saving I made was like from the leave days. So I decided not to take as much leave as I wanted to in that final year, because I was like, let me cash in on all my leave days. So basically the only leave I took in my third year at the company I worked at was like sick leave. So all the stuff that was like that I needed to do, all the surgeries I needed to do, I did them in that year. Like, I made sure that I didn't come to the United States with a very like urgent surgery that I needed to do. So I removed all my wisdom teeth and all of that, and so I used my leave days primarily to like come over here and also just to sort out my life. And so I had like maybe 2 months worth of salary like saved up just to come to the United States. Like I said, it depends on who your employer is, how quickly you're gonna get the money, but I was like, rather be safe than sorry. So if I can save money, I'm gonna save money. I was also lucky enough that my mom decided to come with me. So like in the beginning, I was like against the idea of my mother coming, because I was like, I am 25, like I can do this by myself. But girl, I was so glad that my mom came with me. Like, it is a lot to move house, guys. It is like really a challenge. So if somebody is willing to come with you, don't try act all brand new like I'm an adult, I can do this by myself. No, like you do need some assistance if they can come. Like, just, you know, like be happy that they're coming along. So I always wanted like something a little bougie, and she was like, girl, you're not going to be able to afford a bougie place. You need a place that is, you know, affordable, but also kind of feels not too much like a Matchbox, because I must say that my apartment is not it's not like Matchbox, because I feel like certain apartments in the city like are very tiny, and you're you're just sacrificing way too little space. And if you can like move slightly outside of the city, like I moved to Arlington, which is not in like DC itself, it helped because I think it was like slightly on the cheaper side, and then I got like a bigger size apartment. And what helps with that is just like you can make it more homey, you know, because you're gonna be away from home for so long, so you want something that just kind of like can spread out and just feel like, oh, this is my place. So I'm really happy with the size of my apartment. It could be bigger, but it's fine. It's good for one person. It's chilled. The other thing is you obviously need to decide whether or not you're going to get a roommate or not. I didn't. Some people did. They went on Craigslist and they trusted that that process was the right process for them. When I look back, maybe I could have saved a lot of money having a roommate, and I'm still thinking, you know, if I move to another city, that I might, if it's like a more expensive city, I think I might get a roommate. It's just easier. And also like homesickness is like a real thing, guys. Like for the first month, like you're excited about the country and you're like, oh my god, I'm in the United States of America and it's so great, and you think, you know, life is like the most amazing thing ever. And then you kind of go back to your like old habits, you know, you become your old self again, and yeah, then it gets real. Then that's when you realize like how much you miss your family. And I'm not even like a family person. Like I'm not a person who's like constantly hanging out with my family, but I was like, yeah, no, I really do miss these people. And so you might want to consider getting a roommate, someone who will just like not make you think about family so much, like can distract you. And I was lucky in that all my colleagues are pretty much all foreigners. Like all my friends are like from Ireland or South Africa or from Australia or something like that. Like, so it's nice that I'm with people who understand like the pains of not being at home. Like people think your life is so amazing when you're in another country. No, it's actually really, really tough. It's like you're trying to chase this idea of this life that you want for yourself, but you don't actually have that like everyday support. And yeah, like you don't necessarily have that. You're like living in your own isolated place and you're trying to figure things out, and you're still in your 20s, like as if you know stuff that's happening in your 20s. I have like no idea half the time what I'm doing in my 20s. So like you just need that like that shoulder to make you feel better about your life. Yeah. Another thing, guys, that you want to consider is weather. So you're coming from a country that is very sunny. You know how South African winters are. It's a joke. It's play. Like it's what, 21 degrees maximum. It's really like it's a dream, right? So you want to consider something that is similar in climates. I'm saying this because you don't realize just how much the weather affects your mood. If you are one of those people, really strange people who don't like sunlight, then go to a country where there is no sunlight, where it's like raining all the time. I'm one of those people who love sunlight, but sometimes I don't mind the winter. So a place like DC is great because like the winter, okay, no, the winter is deep, because I once experienced a night where it was -14 and I almost lost my fingers, like legit, no joke, almost lost my fingers. And that was like quite brutal, but it wasn't that long. And the summer here is really fantastic. Don't ask me why I haven't been to the pool, but it's really wonderful. And so you want something that kind of like resembles home. I know you're like, but what's the purpose of you going to another country if it's like going to be like the same as home? Well, it depends on your goal. Like if your goal is a 6-monther, then yes, you can go to a country where it does not resemble your home. But for me, like I'm trying to like stay here for as long as possible. Now you don't want a situation where you're so uncomfortable in the first 6 months that you're already making decisions to want to go back home, and things are just, it's too hard. Like you're always adapting, you're always having to adjust to certain things. Like try and make your life as light and as simple as possible where it's controllable. Do your research, guys. The other thing while we're talking about research is make sure that you're with an employer that is credible, guys. We've all heard the stories. Human trafficking is a real thing. Make sure that you're with the right people. You can actually Google them. You've been onto their website. Like maybe you even know certain people who've been there. You don't want some dodgy ass company. Next thing you know, you find yourself in a completely horrid country somewhere else. Make sure also that they're giving you the right salary that is competitive. You don't want to be like so excited about this particular salary because you converted it into your currency and it looks so amazing, and then you get there and you're like, I didn't realize things were this expensive, because like I pay a lot on rent. Look at your lifestyle I mean, obviously sometimes your lifestyle might have to like drop just a little nyana, but like look at your lifestyle and look at whether or not like this company can afford to give you that kind of lifestyle. Research, guys. Like, it's so important. You're making a major life decision. It's not that easy. But I don't want to deter you guys from coming to a new country, because I believe that I would not be the person that I am if I had not moved to the United States. I think my life would be very mundane. I think like I was becoming, it was too much of a rut. Hey, I was like just doing the same thing over and over, going to the same brides, and like there was no progress. And it's not because like the people around me weren't like good enough or whatever. In fact, they were great, and I'm sad sometimes when I think about home and I get emotional and stuff, because I just wish that I could bring the people that I love with me to my new like environment. But I think like it's good to challenge yourself, especially when you're this young. Like, do it, because I think like when you're like in your 30s or 40s and you have children and you have like this like well-established career and stuff, it's so much more difficult to just pack up and go. When you're in your 20s, like this is the best time for you to like just try something different and unique, and like that'll like really like just push you, you know. Like, your life has been so comfortable up until matric, and then you get to university maybe if you're lucky, and like things are just like this, they're just moving up all the time. It's just great. You're living with your parents, like you're not really experiencing major like crisis in your life, except maybe that you don't have a car or whatnot, but like it's just chilled. So you want something that's like gonna challenge you, man, like that's gonna make you like dig deep. Like, there were certain things that I thought I never was able to overcome, but when you're on your own, do you have a choice? Like, do you think life cares? Like, life is like,
yo, I don't care that your life was uncomfortable. This is the real world, and you need to like step up quickly, because if you want what you want, you need to grow up very quickly.
a lot of self-growth happens when you move to another country, and it's a great thing. Like, don't fight it. Like, growth is good. You don't want to be stuck in the same life that you were like 5 years ago. You're the same person. No, man, you need to challenge yourself. Do you think the people that you look up to are the people that are the way they are by staying the same? No, you need to like push yourself, and this is an opportunity for you to really push yourself. So if you are like, someone says, hey, there's this thing that you could do, take a chance on yourself though. Like, you know, have some faith and see where it takes you, you know.
I'm like so confident lately. Like, I'm like able to do things that I never would have been able to do if I was still back home.
Like, you know, you have to rely on yourself, and you have to like reach out and ask people for certain things, you know. And I never would have dared if I was back home. So that is my advice to you guys. Like, if you have the opportunity, grab it, but be smart, do your research, and yeah, have fun. The whole point of coming over to a whole new country is to have fun. Don't take it always so seriously. Like, don't be moping around like, oh, I miss home all the time. Like, you know, you're already there. You might as well just, you know, like enjoy what you can. Like, even if it's just 3 months or 6 months, like just enjoy what you can. If it's like longer than that, then I completely understand the homesickness, because it is real. But yeah, just remind yourself while you're there, what are the goals that you want to achieve, and it'll be easy. Okay, guys? So I hope that this video was very informative, and that you know, just thought about things differently, and that if you are considering moving to a whole new country, you know, it's just like, you know, added an extra bit of insight, because that's the whole point of this channel, of my website, Memoirs of a Blazer. I hope that you have subscribed to that website of mine, and that you've subscribed to this channel and liked this video. Remember that your dreams are valid. I love you. Be brave, because it makes other people brave around you. Bye, guys.